say final and I say that press conference later, I think a little before 12 a.m. or a little over 12 a.m. The National Democratic Congress had held a press conference where the communications officer of the NDC had called on the NDC followers to go to the coalition centers and go and storm there. Yes. In fact, our press conference here in the Crown, we didn't have a scheduled press conference at that time. But when you did that press conference, we had a response. We had a responsibility to first of all ensure that young Kofo do not go and clash. And for instance, if you ask me, I'll tell you that's one of the things I regret. Because if I knew say the NDC were going to cause rampage, say in 2024, maybe a democracy could do. We had Domuye Wonsawum, Domuye Ablekuma North, Domuye was so many other places across the country. If we knew say this is what they were going to do, and that they were not going to allow the process to flow, Anka would not have stopped our people. And I regret it. And
that would have meant bloodshed.
Now Obi, if that is what your opponent has chosen to do, opponent,
you had a responsibility, or you were in power.
Exactly. Enunti enenumero obekaya. I made that very and after the time I was saying delivering that press briefing, we had no indication say we were losing the elections because our dashboard clearly showed say in fact that time we were even in the lead. We were in the lead. Don't forget that when you are doing the coalition, it depends on maybe 275 constituencies. Into depending maybe Aboagye free. So I just say it depending ubetumi almost maybe 60% now will lead, maybe 40% na kano from opponent strong. So as a matter of fact, and I put it on record, at the time I our press conference, we were leading the elections. We were. And we thought say but if you lead the elections there, why should we? I didn't think yen soma yen crofo na omunko yendi crofo we chi yen say ade no. Because ade no cry ye lead. In any case, ye leading po. Yen this democracy na ye na no man na ye pre no. Ye pre say ye be say no. Enti your responsibility say ye be maintaining calm. Near making sure so we protect the peace. And until now we be to say since a woman not done pray, the videos are there. The whole coalition center was invaded by NDC. You've seen the video. And there was no response. Because at that time, it was purely NDC people who had been called to go to the coalition center by their party. And like you rightly said, some years our press conference, and I say, NPP phone, I'm sorry. Now, most of coalition center will be. I'm not sure say by now I handing over a I am not sure say by now I handing over a In fact, there is one very respectable journalist because your friend is saying if you later I think I made a comment and not sending me message Bakuya okay and can you are protecting the sanctity of the state, you know, but it was becoming too much. So what you bet you say as a man can say NDC for Buera coalition center. Do you know what they did in some of the constituencies? Tama ballot papers in a few polling station Eba coalition centers no. Normally your macho men motorbikes. Akosia electoral commission for na ballot boxes na titim. Into for electoral commission, there were a lot of constituencies are omo full coalition. It be as a polling stations near about 150 to date. Omo to be collecting 135, 140. But the only reason why omo declaring say what the beka hon kra na and make a difference. But it was a strategy. In fact, they did it in so many places. For Aboagye North MP Nebisano the constituency then they did the same thing and then they no to me push it through. I'm gonna say ballot papers in so we had a responsibility to ensure say you be protected the sanctity of the state. That's why if you recall we made the analogy say you know the story of the Solomon and the two rivals. Yeah to aba ye nimsa ba ye lead. As at the time I made a press conference we were in the lead. I didn't think say no. And it was clear, say, because they knew at the time to say we're in the lead in it, you know. That is basically what happened. And it was a right call from us at that time. Because, like I'm telling you, say I'm making our call no at that time. If we are not called on our people at that time to remain calm and that we are in the lead, and see, yen shie in suoni akola ni nyinengu, ni yen say na, me yes sure say by now can handing over. So I just say, and I make us say, who need denim and seated around the table, who need complete information, who need complete view of the issues. It's okay when you are giving your own interpretation of how it should have gone, it's fine. But there was sole responsibility at the time as a government to ensure, say, we went through election 2024 with Ghana intact. And that is exactly what we did. In doing that, we had to cut our own losses.
More flag bearer put together a campaign team. In that campaign team, you were director communications, and you had deputies. Now deputies near saying 2 or 1.
2. You
had 2. But we had Domakubefi, right?
Yeah.
No, you're a deputy. He was supposed to be working with you.
Yeah.
But he's on record to have said so many things against you. Say, to the extent, say, Sikakra party ne de ma say fire Juma. Office kano or more so deputies or more Yahweh or Munim DNA Koso and all of that. You played a role in bringing about this defeat. At least that's what he has said. Say defeat ni bebre na there was so many so no ebo.
Obi say me miracles nkwana ubegye di say me ma NPP lose elections na be obia kuma beto ne yem na yetumi a reorganize ye hone yakọ to win the next elections o dey for me.
Omonfa so bo ne mo
say o de eno be ma asomdua ba no bia kuma to ne yem a for me. Obi, first of all, I'm putting on record say me director of finance for the campaign. I don't handle money.
Yes.
Me handle sika. I am na me handle campaign sika. Say the campaign sika ebe bibia emma me ho. A director of finance in a year say adwuma no. Even in the communications unit in the crown no, ya chichebu. It me say obisa the only thing I mean say tete and a work multimedia advert ye the fan. But obisa me bisa tete say oba me hoda. And I said tete bisa say the entire campaign period kra ohun ebeji ska o me ho a tete ambeji ska o me ho. Ba ye tu advert o multimedia. Bia say me na me tua ya na enye me because adwuma no nko ahun tumi nye. Obisa media form ba in directorate, they will tell you there's so many people playing different roles. But mama see say nipa tanwa we are there and first of all, immediately I was named as comms director. Adomako if you can say he wasn't happy. He was not happy because I was thinking say no na deputy. He was not happy. It's on record. So many people, in fact, we even had face-to-face confrontations on that. He was not happy with that. Into Bisano, you shouldn't expect to say into Bisano crime. You're sure cross a call Benjamin no or person any few go send a bill between a some catcher. And it's understood. Number 2.
But putting the two of you. Okay, what do you mean?
Number two. Yeah. There were several deputies, including other people in the comms directorate. Obia can be BSI. Nobody. We work at this. Even till date, we are still working as a team trying to help this party. Just one. But guess what? The entire campaign period that your boy DC and your campaign, he never showed up even once for anything.
No meeting. No.
There be.
You called meetings.
Oh yes. Obetra meeting ba akopem.
And he was aware of
yes,
the meetings.
Yes. Oba ba akope. There can you remember. And to be fair to him, Oyare. And I'm sure most of you were even aware.
Yeah.
So Oyare. Into no cry throughout the campaign, Oyare for almost 90% of the campaign period. Oyare. Into Bisano, how do you just come back after the campaign? You are not part of it. You didn't play any proper active role. Yes, you were named, but it was on paper. One play active role.
You didn't give him opportunities.
No, Oyare. Were you not aware? So no,
yeah, he was not.
He was not well. He was not well. So I just he didn't play a role. He didn't even show up in a lot of even times are not one who didn't when show up because my catcher that I say no you happy say me and the boss. Like I saw no you boy when you say me. So I just say or when you near say me which is true. So I just say no expect say me near say me your boss. Into on say so on me tenasena ye tenase me na me penny. So he wasn't happy to cooperate. Into Bisano be or Babeke Kasan same way. Now until figures of Bobo. I can see in millions of dollars. Minya mini baby one body and kameje. But to be very honest with you,
but as comms director, had a budget as communications.
The campaign has a budget and a plan, but it doesn't come to me.
The
first say your communications director no emma when about kramiti and MC Kran was say media for sika say the more yapa. No be media for me mean you bribe. Obi uye duma mama na same tua ka mentua ka. Now we expect BBA from you. Media for your mamuska.
No.
You try muskabi.
No.
Metia metuaka.
Not that I know.
And what is he talking? And again, Obekasa because Onim send a running campaign. No. Konon kaho. And to know Nim send a running to a kabibia. And about also say, and our communicators. Obi, let me explain this to you. A company running our communications directories, and you realize that we decided to work closely with the party. Until you are setting a power structure for the comms structure. Until you pay your own kind of penny communication director for campaign. You touch party campaign structure. No?
Party communication.
You touch no. You touch no. Until me, I wasn't responsible for communicators. It still remained with the party, and you have a responsibility. Ye jama party ni say send musi no momo yen sa
and the party was resourced to do
of
that.
Of course o madjuma no enye madjuma. So I just here I wasn't responsible for constituency regional communications officers. Ye jani nyina ma party no. I don't know if you are following the conversation. But again, like I keep saying, Obi, I don't have to do this in the first place. Ideally, I some better radio so better cheche. And yet I do ma kube fi ye. Can we some better radio so I cheche sani ma we nyemu. Cause internal ye structure ye ho in the party. But you see, be person say wa we there baby abefi bia no or the be shia. But the thing about politics and say enye sprint, a marathon. Nti enne obetumi enya heads up. Once there am 5,000 10,000. Obi to be di echira no to 29 now dem gidi akaba last 2 laps no hold the answer pa no abe pa.
If these allegations that find the expression in the final committee report